Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm sharing my favorite e.l.f. products. e.l.f. is one of my favorite brands. They are cruelty-free and vegan, and they make amazing, affordable products. They have so many different things to choose from, including makeup and skincare and brushes. In today's video, I'm mainly focusing on makeup, and then I did include a couple of skincare products. But if you want to see a more in-depth video on their skincare products or their brushes, let me know in the comment section below. But I love e.l.f. I think they make a lot of great products, but there are so many to choose from. So in today's video, I wanted to narrow it down to my favorites. And if you guys have any favorites, I would love to hear from you. Please let us know in the comment section below. I am wearing the majority of these products today, and I did film myself applying them. I want to get better at including application clips if they are helpful, so let me know. But I will include those in today's video, as well as close-ups, swatches, price information, everything that you need to know about these products. So let's jump into it, and I'll kick it off with face products. So I'll go in the order that I would typically apply these products. My favorite primer would be the e.l.f. Oil Control Primer Mist. This one is going to be such a great option for you if you have oily skin. I actually used an entire bottle up, and then I did repurchase it. I'm kind of in the middle of a primer no buy, but I bought it at the end of last year when I was placing an e.l.f. order, and I am glad that I have a backup because this works so well. It's incredibly lightweight. I believe they say on the website that it's a water-based primer, so it actually feels like you're applying water to your skin. Now you can spray this directly onto your skin. The mist is a little bit harsh, so I actually like to spray it into my hands and then just press it into my skin. And that way I'm able to get a really targeted application. I tend to get the most oily around my nose, my forehead. What's nice about this primer is that it does leave your skin matte throughout the day, but it's not drying. It doesn't leave your skin tight. It's a really comfortable product, and you wouldn't think that it would work well to mattify your skin, but it really does. So if you have oily skin or you just like a matte finish throughout the day, I definitely recommend this one. It works so well with all foundations. Because it is so lightweight, I just find that everything that I apply on top goes on really nicely. One of my favorite foundations is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I've enjoyed this one for a few years, but it's definitely become one of my staples because it's such a great option for everyday wear. It leaves your skin with a really beautiful finish. It retails for $6, so it's definitely pretty affordable, and it comes in 40 different shades. I would say that it's a really nice lightweight formula that blends very well. I'm a big fan of foundations that just blend out well. If you want to go with more of a light coverage look, you can totally sheer it out with a sponge or use a smaller amount, but it is a buildable foundation. I would say that typically I get a good medium coverage finish with it, and it's nice because it does even out my skin tone, but it allows my freckles to show through, so I feel like it actually looks like skin, and it stays in place pretty well. It's not the most long wearing or the most mattifying foundation, but I feel like that's why it does work for so many different skin types. It has more of a natural satin finish, and obviously if you go in with powder, you can give yourself more of a matte finish, which is what I typically do, but it's really beautiful. It's so lightweight and comfortable, and I've been enjoying this one a lot, especially over the past few years. The only downside for this foundation for me personally would be the scent. It's pretty obvious when you wear this, and I noticed that once I set my foundation into place, I can't really smell it, but as I'm applying my foundation, it has like a very strong, fresh scent. It's not unpleasant, but I know a lot of people are sensitive to fragrance and different scents, so just keep that in mind. I do love the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. They have two different options. The original one is my favorite because it is a long-wearing, full-coverage matte concealer. It stays in place all day long, and it covers everything. Whether you have really dark under-eye circles or redness or acne scarring, this is such a great option. It's $6, and I think they have like 25, 26 shades, so they have so many different options to choose from, especially for a more affordable brand. They also released a hydrating version not too long ago. It's the same price point. I believe they have just as many shades, but it's more of a satin finish. Now, because I have oily skin, I definitely prefer the original, but I've heard from quite a few of you who actually really like the hydrating version more. When I wear the hydrating version on its own, it tends to crease on me, and I wouldn't call it a completely hydrating concealer compared to some other formulas that I've tried, but it definitely has more of a satin finish. I find that mixing these two together works so well, and that's what I did for today's video. When I do that, I feel like you get the best of both worlds. Like you get the long wearing aspect of the matte concealer, but it also mixes in a little bit of that moisturizing aspect when you use the hydrating camo concealer. So they balance each other out really well, but they do have two different options depending on what you're looking for. e.l.f. does have quite a few powders on their website, and there are a few that I'm interested in trying. I am in the middle of a primer and powder no buy just because I'm trying to work through a few in my collection. Once that no buy is over, I think I am planning on testing out a few more powders from e.l.f. But I've really been loving their Perfect Finish HD powder. Now, I used to use this as a setting powder, and you can totally use it as a setting powder if you prefer a very lightweight powder. If you have dry skin or you don't feel like you need a heavy-duty matte powder to set your foundation into place, this is going to be a great option. It's very lightweight, very smoothing. But this year I've actually been using it as a finishing powder. And finishing powder is kind of like one of those extra steps in your routine that you don't necessarily have to do, but if you have the time, it does make a difference. So I'll use this two different ways. Either I will set my foundation into place with a matte powder, and then I'll take this powder and a large fluffy brush and just blend it everywhere to give my skin a really soft, focused effect. Or I'll go in with my bronzer and my blush and do the majority of my makeup, and then again take a large fluffy brush and just blend everything together, and it will diffuse all of those harsh lines and make everything look really soft and blended. That's typically how I love to use this powder. So it's such a great option. It's really affordable. I know they make quite a few expensive powders that are supposed to do the same thing, but you really don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good finishing powder. And again, if you have dry skin or you don't need a heavy powder, you might like this one for setting your foundation into place as well. So like I said, e.l.f. does have a lot of great brushes, and I can film a separate video on my favorites. I wanted to mention the Total Face Sponge, which is not a brush, but it is one of my favorite products. I love using this to apply my powder. I don't use beauty sponges to apply foundation or concealer very often. I will on occasion, and I kind of go through phases where I do enjoy it for that purpose, but typically I love using this with pressed powders or loose powders. Because I typically wear a lot of mattifying products, when I'm applying powder, it can look very matte, very dry, a little bit heavy, but when I use a damp beauty sponge, it just kind of presses the powder into the skin in more of a natural way, and it just almost takes away some of that powdery appearance. And this has been my go-to sponge. I picked it up so randomly. I was at the drugstore one day looking at products, and I saw this and I was like, maybe I'll try it, and then it became a staple for me, and I've repurchased it a few times. So I definitely recommend this. It has a nice pointed edge and then also a flat edge as well. So it's great for cream products, contour, blush, highlighter, whatever you want to use it for. So at the beginning of the year, e.l.f. did release these bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. I talk about them so much on my channel that I'm almost starting to get on my own nerves, so I'm sure I'm getting on your nerves, but I am just so in love with these. These are $3 each, and they are amazing. The quality is just so good, and I can't believe they're $3 because these perform just like high-end shadows. I actually want to get a few more. I am planning on doing that because I do want to place an e.l.f. order and grab a few things, but the colors that I want have been out of stock, so I've just been waiting for them to go back in stock before I place my order. I have the two neutral quads, so I have Truffles. I'm mainly wearing Truffles on my eyes today, and then I also have Cream and Sugar, which is one of my go-tos. The matte shadows just blend out great. They're very smooth, really easy to work with. They're a little bit powdery, but I think that's why they do blend out so well, and the metallic shadows are just insane. As you guys will see in my application clip, I typically use my finger to apply metallics, but they go on really great with a brush as well. They're just intense and vibrant and so easy to work with. Because these shadows are so rich and smooth, even if you are a beginner or you struggle with eyeshadow application, I don't think you'll have any issue with these. They work really, really well. The e.l.f. Primer-Infused Bronzer has been one of my favorite products for years at this point. I talk about this one on my channel all the time as well. It's just such a beautiful, smooth, blendable formula, and it's really easy to work with. If you are somebody who just likes to throw your bronzer on and be good to go and be done, this is such a great choice because it blends out so effortlessly and it looks great on the skin. It is a matte bronzer, but it's so easy to blend. It has like this beautiful, smooth factor to it, and they do say that it is primer infused, so I think that's part of the reason why it does blend so well, but it also stays in place really well throughout the day. I wear the shade Forever Sunkissed, and it's the perfect shade because it's not too warm toned, it's not too cool toned, it's just a great everyday bronzer. I also love the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blushes. They do have quite a few shades to choose from because they have the original formula, which is a matte blush, but they also have Primer Infused Shimmer blushes, and they have light shades, they have deep shades, so honestly, no matter what skin tone you have or what type of blush you like to wear, you're going to be able to find one that works well for you. Today I'm wearing the shade Always Cheeky, which is pretty light, but you can build these blushes up well. Maybe not this one because it is on the lighter side, but there are deeper shades, brighter shades. Again, these just blend out so well on the skin, and I'm not typically a fan of matte blushes. I do like a good glowy blush or even a shimmery blush, but because these are so blendable and smooth, they look pretty healthy on the cheeks without looking super flat or super matte like some other formulas can. The Primer-Infused Shimmer Blushes do have a little bit of an overspray on top, so you kind of have to work through that top layer, and then underneath, they're not as much shimmery as they are naturally glowy. So I would say these give your skin more of a healthy glow rather than a super shimmery finish, but again, you kind of have to work your way through that initial layer, and then you'll get to the more glowy blush. But again, they have a lot of shades to choose from, and they blend well, they stay in place, and I think they're just gorgeous. They feel like high-end blushes in my opinion. The only lip product that I'm not wearing in today's video is the Sheer Slick Lipstick in the shade Cherry Slush. I was going to wear this, but I felt like it didn't really go with my makeup look and my shirt, so that's the only reason why I'm not wearing it, but it's such a beautiful formula. If you like lip tints, but you want more of an amped up lip tint, this is such a great option. I wouldn't call it a completely sheer lip color, but you can sheer it out. Like if you apply a little bit, kind of dot it on your lips, and then blend it in with your finger, you get more of a sheer application, but you can also build this up to look pretty intense on the lips, but you can still kind of see through it. It's just such a gorgeous formula. It leaves your lips looking so glossy and hydrated, and I love wearing this with like a tinted moisturizer and mascara for just a fun pop of color, and it's definitely become an essential for me, but I think heading into the summer, for those effortless makeup days, I will be reaching for this one so often. Okay, let me just finish up with 3 different skincare products. Like I said, they do have a lot of skincare products, but I did have to mention these because these have been my tried and true favorites. One is a little bit newer to me, but the other 2 I've been using for a couple of years at this point. The first one, which is the newer skincare product to my collection, is the E.L.F. Oil Control Liquid Lotion. I feel like I'm about halfway through this, and I picked it up a few months ago, but I use it every single morning before I do my makeup, and even on days when I don't do my makeup, because this is the perfect daily moisturizer if you have oily skin. Typically, I kind of rely on my makeup to mattify my skin. I'll use a mattifying primer, a matte foundation, but I've noticed that when I use a matte daily moisturizer, it makes a big difference, and there are a lot of days where I don't wear makeup, especially these days since I'm at home all the time, and my skin can get pretty oily on its own even if I'm not wearing makeup. So I love this product because it does mattify your skin, but it also moisturizes your skin at the same time. Now, if you want a little bit more of an intense moisturizer, I do recommend the E.L.F. Hello Hydration Face Cream. This is typically something that I'll reach for during the fall and the winter at night, and even during the day if I want something a little bit more intense, because I do struggle with a little bit of dryness during the winter time. But this one is a I was going to say full coverage, a super heavy duty moisturizer, and it leaves your skin feeling refreshed and plump. It does have hyaluronic acid in it, and I feel like that does make a difference because when I use this at night and I wake up the next day, my skin looks smooth and hydrated and amazing, and it's such a great choice if you do need something a little bit more intense than the Oil Control Liquid Lotion. I've had this product in my collection for years. I've repurchased it a couple of times, but this is the E.L.F. Active Hydration Stick. They actually have 2 different products on their website that are the exact same. This one, and then also their Prep and Hydrate Balm. The ingredients are the same. The only thing that's different is the name and the packaging, but if you open them up, they look the exact same. So essentially, this is a hydrating stick, and I love keeping this at my vanity where I do my makeup because sometimes I do struggle with a little bit of dryness, especially around my nose, and there's something about this product that works so well because you can just kind of apply it wherever you're dealing with a little bit of dryness. It has a really nice cooling effect, and as you blend it in, it just kind of sinks into the skin and allows your makeup to apply so beautifully on top. I mean, if you have dry skin or you're just looking for a good moisturizing balm to prep your skin before you go in with makeup, I think you could use this all over your face. I just love having it because sometimes I just need that targeted moisture, and this product works extremely well. So I do recommend this one. So those are all of the products that I wanted to share with you guys in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear from you guys. If there are products that I didn't mention in today's video that you love from E.L.F., please let me know in the comment section below so I can test them out. I do need to place an order and grab a few of my favorite products, and there are a couple of things that I've been wanting to try as well. So let me know so I can add them to my list. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.